Hello, this is Miranda. I want to talk about the sacred breath work, and I feel like having a resource of a video to talk about the details of it is probably a good way for me to consolidate time because it takes quite a bit to explain exactly what the sacred breathwork method is, what it does, and how it's going to benefit you. So here we go. The sacred breathwork method. I just completed the training in LA with Kaya Lee and a group of really powerful women. And the main purpose of breathing is to access the subconscious on the emotional level. There are only a few modalities that allow you to go into the subconscious in the same way that breath work does. For example, hypnotherapy is one way, and plant medicine, like for example ayahuasca or peyote, I believe those are sort of transformative subconscious accessing plants that allow you to go deep into your own being for healing. I haven't tried either of those. And now that I have found the sacred breathwork method, I really don't feel any desire to go down that path. But, you know, never say never. We'll see how things evolve. But you can access your subconscious in the same way as plant medicine or hypnotherapy. And I believe maybe Jungian shadow work would be another one. So we are actually run by our subconscious. About 95% of our thoughts and actions actually are coming from the subconscious level. So the subconscious holds and stores so many of those patterns from our childhood, whether that contained trauma or wounding, or any of the coping mechanisms that we built around those. Coping mechanisms could be something like a victim mentality, or it could be something like a people pleaser. So we tend to create stories or ways of being or actions that we feel we need to take in order to be accepted and to receive love based on unmet needs or events, traumatic events, or wounding, something that happened to us, something that we felt or perceived about our situation, whether it was intended or not. That's how we perceived it, and that's how we shaped ourselves and our stories based on those events, those external circumstances. And so those coping mechanisms sort of developed in childhood in order to try to protect ourselves from further pain and to try to control really the situation around it. One way or another. So we felt this sort of more sense of empowerment. But unfortunately, as we get older and start to unconsciously, right, accessing through the subconscious, create through those wounds, basically, and our coping mechanisms and strategies around those wounds, it doesn't tend to serve us. So if you ever feel blocked in your life, or if you ever feel like you have like recurring patterns and you go, oh, why does this always happen to me? The same story always keeps playing out and it kind of keeps reaffirming for me. And I really want to try to stop doing things this way, but I feel trapped in it. That's because it's the subconscious playing things out. So, going into the subconscious in this very beautiful way with the breath work allows you to see into more deeply yourself, and it allows you a safe container to express as you face those revelations, as you feel into them as you experience them again, and you can express them through your physical body, through your voice, however it comes out. You are able to potentially transform and shift by bringing a greater clarity and awareness into your experience, and then slowly integrating that into your day-to-day life. On the physical level, it is very powerful also to breathe deeply, because we're oxygenating the body very deeply. So every system, every cell requires oxygen to function optimally and in the most healthy way. And typically when we breathe just normally, naturally during the day, we have a shallow breath, and we are not oxygenating in the deep way that purposeful breath work does. So oxygen is also very much important for your detoxification process. So about 70% of our detoxification actually comes through the breath. So it's really powerful as a detoxifier, just on the physical level. What else on the physical level? It's energizing, right? So we get about 90% of our energy from oxygen. So only 10% of our energy actually comes from food. So this is a way to just really boost your energy, help you to feel like you are more alive and functioning and energized throughout the day, throughout your life. So there are many powerful physical and emotional reasons why you might want to do the breath work. On an energetic level, breathwork is also working to clear energetic channels. It can help you to sort of access non-ordinary states of being. So the theta brainwaves are activated during your breathwork as you highly oxygenate your body. That's the same type of brainwave that you might experience in dream time. So you may see things, you may feel into things, you may have these mystical experiences. You may feel the presence of ancestors or spirit guides there in a supportive and loving way. And on the mental level, it's also helping to quieten the mind. So the monkey mind and the chatter, that is really like coming from the subconscious much of the time. So sometimes we have a tendency to have self-critical thoughts, or busy our minds with all of the lists of things that we need to do or that we feel that we need to do, distracting ourselves. So the mind can really be through the breath work, you can turn your mind more into an ally rather than an enemy. So quietening that monkey mind in order to go deep and feel into a greater awareness of being in every moment. So that's kind of how the breath work changes things and what you do. So the basic breath is quite easy, although it is work, right? Breath work. It's not a complicated method. So you breathe in through the nose, which is a distinguishing factor for the sacred breathwork method, actually. So the reason that this breathwork lineage invites breathing in through the nose is because it stimulates the vagus nerve, which then stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is allowing you to relax and surrender and go into a how we are really meant to be in almost all of our waking lives. Unfortunately, have so much stress, so much stimulus that our sympathetic nervous systems are often activated. And breathing in through the mouth can actually activate that sympathetic, that stress response. So if you think about like a panic attack or shortness of breath or hyperventilation, it's actually increasing the stress response rather than right? So we also breathe out or encourage breathing out through the mouth in order to surrender more deeply. But breathing out through the nose is also acceptable. So there's a specific method that when you work with me, I'll instruct you on exactly how you do that. But it's quite, it's as simple as breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth in a loop, in a circle. So no pause in between the inhale and the exhale. And this is what starts to oxygenate the body. So we also encourage uninhibited movement and vocalization throughout your breathwork journey. So we call it a journey because it is really like a shamanic journey. You may enter into the dream time, you enter deeply into the subconscious level of your existence, and you may have memories of things in the past, you may have clarity around them, you may feel a lot of self-love. There are so many experiences that can be had. It's really anything and everything. And so really to surrender into the process and surrender into what you need to do. So it invites you to feel how does my body want to move, and then move in that way. How might I want to vocalize? Might I want to tone or sing or cry or laugh or scream even, right? Because this is all a way for our bodies to release any type of held energy, held tension around whatever it is that we're going to go in and discover. And so moving through it in that way, in a way that we maybe have never felt supported and safe enough to do before, is also part of the transformation of breath work. So knowing that there's no need to feel inhibited, and to know that you are in the safe container of space and of compassion when you work with me, to know that I am going to